So what then happened was, Slava, it was so easy for me to recruit hardcore gangsters, guys that have been to prison in and out. People were surprised to see how has Clayton Peacock become a tribe leader. What happened here? How did he get
What do you say to a guy to recruit you? Let's say you want me to come into your organization, if you can call it
There's a
that.
saying, Slava, that says, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that principle works.
So sy van tikkie dat ons hy is klaar maak. Hulle wil maar wys op.
Hulle rol maar die mense.
Yeah.
So now what happened was, when they saw that this guy is fighting alone, drive alone, fight alone,
So by that time you were looking for them and
Hunting.
you had your own gun, you were shooting them.
hunting day and night,
Yeah.
I went, I meditated, I sat and I said, it's either them or me.
Is this now sober-minded or you high or you
Sober-minded, I
drinking?
never drank, I never smoked, never in my life, never used drugs. I've never even been
Touched.
arrested or had a speeding fine. The judges and the court couldn't understand how this guy is standing here with so many cases. So I was never in a prison cell.
So you're
I was
doing this sober-minded.
100% sober.
That's scary.
But that's the power of anger. And anger is a spirit. People say it's an emotion, but it's attached to a spirit.
How scary is that, guys? Doing something without normal people get drunk, they use drugs, they get out of their mind and then they do things. Clayton does this, went sober-minded.
Sober, non-drinker, never smoked before,
Still don't.
still don't. I'm a pastor, can't. So none of those things.
Yeah.
So when I went to war on my own against
Yeah.
this big gang, the rival gang decided, let's join this guy. So the terribles that's from Wimmo Park and Reiger Park came together and we said, okay guys, we're gonna fight because it's either them or it's us. So I was never actually, or I would say in my mind, I didn't think as myself as a gangster.
Yeah.
Because I was in self-defense mode. These guys, after the first incident where they shot at me and my brother in the car, they came to the house morning hours, driving up and down with hoodies. So it was like torture
To finish the job now.
to finish the job because
After they got the wrong person.
after they got the wrong person because the evidence is here, the car's full of holes. I'm the complainant, so it's a strong case against
Yeah.
them. And I could.
And
at
you knew
least-
who some of them were.
I knew all of them because I grew up
Yeah.
with these guys.
Okay. No
We
wonder
played
they,
soccer
yeah.
together. We would walk up and down at the game shops together. You know our colored culture.
Yeah.
We grow up as family.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly who it was. So I, for the next 2 years, was in war mode. And I would sleep revenge. I would eat revenge. I would be at work because I was a working man. I worked in Midrand at the time. So at work, I would plan and think, yes, it's either them or it's me.
So you would plan, okay, these are there this time. I'm going to go at that time. This is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Wow.
So it was hectic, Slava, and that's why I said that anger that is not controlled is like a fire in a field. If you don't control, if you don't get counseling for your anger,
Yeah.
if you don't get counseling for your trauma, because after they shot at me, there was no counseling. And the problem we make as the church is we get people and we say we're going to pray for you, but our emotions was affected. I was traumatized. I couldn't sleep for days.
So there were people that came to you and said, Clayton, stop with this nonsense.
Yeah,
This
they
is not
said-
you. We don't know you like this. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You're already in trouble.
My mom is a pastor. I'm a pastor's kid.
What did your mother say?
Oh, my mother's busy fasting and praying. And if I could, honestly speaking, I would turn back time and I would make a different decision. I wouldn't go the way I did.
Yeah.
Because that war, we lost so many innocent lives. Not innocent lives, but so much sons was lost. In a space of 3 to 4 years, we buried about 42 to 48 young men.
Just
From the Dogans to the Terribles to the Sour Boys. It was, from the Dogs, it was a bloodbath.
42.
That's 42
This was
that
now.
I
This
know.
was now
I'm
what,
not talking
from
about
2010.
2010 when the war started,
Yeah.
until now recently.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do things different if I
42
could.
young men. This is now from all sides. Your side,
From
their
all
sides.
and these are the ones we know, excluding the ones that mistakenly got killed, like the woman, the girlfriends that was within the car, and the this and the that. So a lot of lives was lost, and I would, if I could, turn back time, but I can't.
Yeah.
And the journey that I've been through has just allowed me to come onto the show and come and speak to the audience, to speak to communities, to tell them that gangsterism, the only outcome that we get is one of two things. You go to prison for the rest of your life, or we're gonna bury you. Those are the two. Those are the two salaries you get for working in that field. So, the glitz and the glamour is there. You become notorious. You walk into places. It's people.
But is it glitz and glamour? What is it? Is it because people know you? Do they fear you?
Yes.
So when you show up, does that give you a bit of? What do you feel? Does it give you a bit of you feel important?
Yes. And fear, it automatically gives you a high, because when you walk into places, everybody's like, yo,
He's Clayton.
Peacock is hiso.
Was I you gangster name? What is your
my nickname was Nige. The Nige.
Nige.
Yeah, so people were picturing this black Nigerian guy.
Why they call you Nige?
Short space of time I used to sell drugs, but for a short
In
time.
that time now, in that few years.
Because this thing needs funds.
Yeah, you in now. You in it, so you're doing.
So I'm full force.
Yeah.
So I'm doing everything I can.
Yeah.
So they used to call me the Nigerian, but they shortened it down and they said Be Nige. So my nickname was Nige. So it gives you this rush, and that is why young men are drawn into this, because they get this attention, they get this power, and you can, if you're in that world, you have so much power over people, but based upon fear.
Yeah.
And there's only one master to that game, and it's Satan, because he designed it.
Yeah.
If you look at where the root of it comes from, it's Cain and Abel. It's biblical, where one brother kills the other brother.
Yeah.
Why? Because of jealousy and envy. So this thing is deep rooted, and it isn't just a colored problem, because